What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist sitting next to
Gershwan.
And today we're back at it answering your questions in another episode
of For the Greater.
Yeah!
This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, comment down below. Put question in front of your question because we get to those questions first. And that is what Futurescaped did. He asks, how much information do the people who are pretty much slaves, the working class in the Imperium, know about the wider universe? Seeing how hard things are in the Imperium, why don't they try to run to the Tau or even speak or seek powers from chaos? Good question. So they don't know very much. They don't know enough to know what a Tau is, and they don't know what chaos is. With a few exceptions of like the frontier planets and like people.
Right.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you're a planet next to like the Tau Empire, you're gonna know about it.
Yeah. So yeah, the average working guy, like all he knows is like his job. Yeah, they know very little.
Yeah, pretty much. It's they're how do you put it? They're only focused on surviving. They don't have time to be looking to the stars, classifying this thing, classifying that thing. Are we gonna get attacked by Tyranids? They don't even know Tyranids exist for the most part.
Yeah, for the average Imperial manufactorum worker, they don't even see the sun in their entire life. So whatever hab block they were born into, that's where they're going to stay, and that's where they're going to die, most likely.
Mm-hmm.
All they know is the Emperor, and that the Emperor is love. The Emperor is life.
Obviously, let's say they get attacked and they're a survivor, then they'll know about it, but chances are, if they don't want panic to spread to, like, let's say, another part of the world, or to other facilities, they'll probably be put down, or mind wiped, or something like that, so... It's very bleak for just a regular worker, no matter what planet you're in. Obviously, if you're like in a pleasure world, obviously you got things a little bit better. But even then, you still don't know very much about what's actually out there.
Yeah. And then once you dive deeper into like different castes outside of the workforce, so like if you talk about the Imperial Guard Regiment, and if you think of like higher ups like nobles and all that kind of stuff, they have more knowledge of the wider universe. People who are in the Adeptus Mechanicus, they know more about like xenotechnology or xeno creatures and all that kind of stuff. So that's when you get to see like the good fluffiness, and that's where like books like the Dark Heresy books kind of come into play and all that kind of stuff. Right. But for the most part, statistically, if you're born in the Imperium, you're not going to know nothing.
Right.
Or something. Next question.
This is an interesting one by El Glodo01. Is it possible that the Chaos Gods were originally powerful mortals? For example, Slanesh being a decadent and androgynous powerful psyker.
Be cool, but no.
Right. These gods, they're born through emotion. They weren't a mortal who got elevated to godhood. They were literally just... Think of them as like...
a pool of ice cream.
There you go. Each one made of all these delicious little molecules that together create ice cream, but... Yeah. They're all tiny little beads of stuff.
Yep. So what you should do is go get a sundae with 4 different flavors. Each one's going to represent a different chaos god, and then you put it outside. You don't eat it, you let it melt. And then you'll see how it like pools, and it goes like that.
And there you have Bellicor.
Yeah, there you go. Next question comes from Simple Plug. Why isn't there any sex in Warhammer 40K stories? Is it because GW is trying to move more over to the family side? No.
I mean, it's there, you just don't hear about it.
Yeah, why do you want to hear about sex? Like, this is a game about war, and you want to know how people are doing it?
Yeah.
Why?
It's like, I want to know how a Tau gets it on with another Tau.
Hooves. They do hoof stuff.
Hoof stuff?
Yeah.
That's show me your greater good.
Yeah, there you go.
But I mean, it's there. There is what was it? Khorne and Slanesh coming out. New Khorne and Slanesh stuff. It's coming out for Age of Sigmar.
Yep.
So with Slanesh, obviously you're gonna have sexualness coming.
Pleasure of all sorts.
But it's not gonna be like you're not gonna be reading straight like porn or even like softcore stuff.
Even though, like, so if you go onto Pinterest, if you go onto Instagram, there's a whole lot of comics dedicated to, like, 40K now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, growing up, all we had was mini wargaming, and then when you would go onto the forums, you would only find, like, Daka, and you would find, like, models that are painted. Now you go on Tumblr, and there's, like, so many different comic books and, like, fanfics and all that kind of stuff. So who knows? Mm-hmm. Maybe the fan... If you are one of those people that wants to know, like, you could probably find what you're looking for. You just have to try looking for it.
I don't remember who sent it to me, but somebody sent me a short story about, like, a Slaanesh planet that was trying to convert its populace over to Slaanesh. And there's some pretty effed up things going on, like crucifixions and rape and stuff like that, so...
Which isn't pleasurable.
I mean, if you're into that kind of stuff, I mean, it does deal with, like, Slaanesh and converting, and it was just, like, I'm like, what am I reading? But, like, I couldn't stop. And that's pretty much Slaanesh in a nutshell.
Basically.
Mm-hmm.
Next one.
This one is by Joseph McKinney. How many planets could the Imperium destroy if they literally just started declaring exterminatus on any and all planets? Could they literally take out the major parts of the galaxy this way?
I mean, yeah, because they would dedicate... Well, this is a tough one.
That's a lot of resources.
Yeah.
Because you gotta use the fuel, get the actual materials to create, you know, the... what are they called?
Virus bombs?
The virus bombs and all that stuff, so...
Or torpedoes, whatever it may be. Yeah, I mean,
it's possible, and they probably could destroy a lot, but it's not something to to make sense strategically.
Yeah. Next question comes from William Ralstone. Since the Imperium has cloning tech, why don't they create a force or chapter made up of clones of the top tier of best Marines throughout history? Because that's illegal. You're not allowed to clone stuff.
Obviously, if you're like a higher up, a high lord, you know, you make the rules. But just your average person, is he asking like your average person doing it?
Well, I'm guessing like the Imperium overall, but like there is a strict law that says you can't clone things. The Imperium or the Inquisition, if they find out that you're cloning, so you're genetically modifying people, they will like destroy whoever you are.
Right, because essentially you could use that to create your own personal army or whatever.
Yeah, and then you could say, well, aren't you genetically creating Space Marines? No, you have a life that already exists. You have a child, and then you implement the gene seed into the child, which you can see it as an augmentation.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, but that's how they get around it. Next one.
All Might. How often do Space Marines work alongside other Marines? Isn't it usually one chapter enough for most battles?
Oh, yeah. It's very rare when two chapters are going to work together, and when they do, it's because something really bad is happening.
Yeah, like really, really bad. Like the Bad Ab War, which you have like 8 chapters.
Fighting against each other. Next one comes from Bunny Hop. What 2 mutations and gene seeds do you think would work best together to create a powerful Marine?
Ooh.
It seems like every Space Marine chapter has pale skin, or like the flaw of having really pale skin. So pale skin and the scratchy, no, what is it called? The scaly skin of the salamanders.
So it'd be like a albino salamander?
Yeah, an albino salamander. But that wouldn't really be good, but it'll be cool. An albino chapter. Yeah.
I don't know why, but I'm picturing a sand shrew, like in its Lowen form.
Yeah. A bunch of sand shrew Space Marines.
I'd say this would probably be most like Wolverine. Have somebody inflicted with like the Black Rage and give them the bone things of the Black Dragons.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like they have bone claws and they're like, you know, berserkers.
Yeah. That's a really good fan chapter.
You're a really good fan chapter.
Next question comes from Not Alfarius. What was the Imperial Fist Legion's signature weapon / tank? I'm building a heresy IF Imperial Fist army and want to make it as fluffy as possible.
You play Imperial.
Yeah, but I don't know that. So they're all about like defense and blocking stuff.
Aegis defense line. Bunkers.
What's that giant tank that's like
Mastodon?
There you go. It's a Mastodon. It rams into a fortification, opens it up, and then it's like a tunnel.
I don't know why, but the Mastodon reminds me of like a Megazord from like the Power Rangers.
Yeah, it looks like it.
You look like it.
Oh damn! Okay. Next question.
Dragon Punch 903. You can only bring one weapon from 40k to this time. What would you bring and why? I feel like that's not a good idea. Because you're just bringing another, like, weapon of mass destruction to...
How do you categorize something as a weapon, though? Is it something that you have to, like, hold in your hand? Or could it be a psychic power? Because that would bring back psychic powers. Like, if I could do, what is that thing that every psyker knows?
Smite.
Smite. If I could smite people, that would be badass.
So you bring the ability to have psychers knowing Smite.
Me, I want to know Smite. I don't want other people knowing Smite. I just want to know Smite. Because you could do Smite, like, where you have to be within a certain radius, right?
18 inches away.
Which isn't that much. Well, no, because if you factor it in, how much would that be, like?
So, standard Space Marine is...
Be like a mile, maybe? No.
No.
It's a couple feet. We'll just say 18 feet. Which is pretty good. 18 feet? That's like from here to the end of the street.
No, that's not. No.
Damn, that power is really short then. I'll still bring Smite. What about you?
I feel like the weapon would probably have to be the Jokero Weaponsmith ring. Because it's like
electric.
It's like a Green Lantern ring. It's like, last cannon.
Yeah, that's the best one.
Yeah.
Good one. Last question.
This one's by Irv Mueller. Thanks for your answer, but you didn't quite get the point.
Oh.
Sorry. It's not about... Oh, this is about the Lucius, if he was like locked in a cage and everybody pushed the button at the same time.
Oh, okay.
So he's saying it's not about locking him away, but rather what if Lucius commits suicide out of frustration? So he was killed by someone who kills out of compassion without the slightest notion of pride. Right, because if he kills himself, he's not going to feel good about it.
Yeah, he is. Because death itself is like you take the pride in knowing that when worse comes to, or with that,
nobody was strong enough to beat me. I did it.
Yeah, when worse comes to worse, it is me. Like I kill myself. So
I decided this at the end. Right?
So then he'll just revive. He'll just keep reviving, killing himself. He revives because he took pride in his own things, and he just becomes Lucius again.
I feel even if he didn't, like let's say for some reason he didn't feel prideful at all, and he just decided to like lop his head off. I feel like Slaanesh would still bring him back.
Yeah.
Because he's so much of an integral, pawn in her scheme.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Or still going back to the whole thing, whoever designed that trap will end up becoming Lucius.
Right.
And those were the questions for today. If you guys have more questions for us, comment down below. We have a Patreon. We have an Instagram, and we have a Facebook that we frequent often. Often. Hit us up, and yeah.
Sound Alchemist.
Gershwan.
Out of here.